So we went to start our car this morning and we may have to figure out how to get over to a Ford dealer.
Our names are Mike and Heather. We spent the summer converting our Ford Transit Connect into a camper van with the ultimate goal of traveling to all 50 states. We have already been on one epic road trip, and now that our van has been finished, we're ready to set out on another. Subscribe and join us as we explore the US and try to figure out this whole van life thing. As always, thanks for watching. We packed up the van this morning and just got a shower. There's a bunch of little frogs in there, so it was super cute. And now we're gonna be heading out to go visit the lighthouse. Before we head out to see the lighthouse, because it is approaching noon and lunchtime, we're just gonna make a quick sandwich.
The day is ours if we just take it. There's no reason we should waste it. Oh, oh, oh. There's no mistaking when the sunlight's calling. Ready now for all that's coming.
12:02, which means it's time to go. Got our sandwiches.
We're heading out from our campsite. Checkout was 12 o'clock, so we're right on time. I think this is the latest start we've ever gotten, and it feels really cool to...
You can see the lighthouse out in the distance.
Oh yeah. We actually saw the light from the lighthouse last night going around, which was really cool. So today we've got a couple of stops to make, and we're just gonna kind of casually make our way north through the Outer Banks.
We got it. The life we want. Feels like everything is going our way. I think we made it.
We just walked up to the lighthouse. Unfortunately, we can't go up it. We thought it was for COVID reasons, but they're actually restoring it, which is actually pretty cool.
So I guess normally you'd be able to climb it. It's like 12 stories high, super narrow, no air conditioning, so it'd probably be quite the hike. It would have been cool to go up and be able to look out from the top, but fingers crossed that some of the other ones are open and that we can go climb those.
Yeah, so we're seeking out all the other lighthouses to hopefully make it to the top of at least one of them. So now we're continuing up Route 12 towards Avon, where we'll be hitting some piers and some little towns, so it'll be really cool to get out and see some of those as well. Let's go.
All right, I'm just gotta punch it in the GPS.
See, look how high that guy is. You see him?
Whoa.
They're getting like massive air. So we're gonna pull off and see what's going on over here because we keep seeing the kite surfers and it's insane.
Here's a change. It might take a minute, but you'll be okay.
So after that quick little detour, we're getting back on the road and heading up towards Avon.
Out of the box and off of the page. Hey, look in the mirror. Is it calling your name? Have you ever seen something so wonderful? The world is yours. Yeah, it's your time.
To the van.
Got what it takes, no foot on the brakes, guys.
Another windy beach walk. We are currently on our way to the Bodie Island lighthouse.
This one is the first one that we'll have come to that we're able to climb. So we've got about an hour before it closes. We're about 12 minutes away. So we're gonna make it in time, which is a rarity for us.
Here's an invitation, let's take a step. It might be improv, but it's excellent. Take a breath and you'll see there's no better place to be.
Glad to see the lighthouse way over there that we're heading towards now.
This one's not anywhere near as tall as the Hatteras one.
And it's not as busy as that one. Cool though.
Yeah.
I want this for the record for when Mike falls down all 200 steps that I'm assuming this lighthouse has. He wants to wear flip-flops and it does not want to put on his sneakers.
It's gonna be fine.
Wish us luck.
I'm gonna say I told you so when we get back.
I'm gonna say I told you so as he's falling down.
Just yell at me as I fall down all the stairs.
I told you so. Yes.
So our ongoing battle with the National Park Service continues. The tickets are only available online, and they only have one left at 5:30. So
we'll have to try to see if we can come back tomorrow morning to actually get to the top.
tomorrow we're gonna be in this area still. I think we're gonna find a spot to sleep nearby, and so backtracking to this location is not gonna be too difficult. Tomorrow morning we'll be back.
Tomorrow morning we'll have the answer to you if Mike falls down the stairs or not. So good morning from the Outer Banks Visitor Center where we slept last night.
We are on Bodie Island now, and I think we're going to be doing a lot of different things between Bodie Island and Roanoke Island. There's the Wright Brothers Memorial. We're going to go back to the Bodie Island lighthouse and climb it. We got the tickets 5:30 this afternoon, so we're gonna be there.
It is crazy because you have to log in right at 7 the day of to be able to get the ticket. So it's kind of like the Rise of the Resistance ride at Disney, where if you're not one of the first people on at 7, you can't get a ticket for any of the early ones. So we finally got the ticket and we're going to be able to climb a lighthouse in the Outer Banks today.
We've got a full day ahead of us, so we're gonna get moving and start getting into our activities.
And end back here at the visitor center to sleep tonight because it's free.
Yes. So we went to start our car, and the, I guess, anti-theft system is going off. I think it has something to do with not recognizing the programmed chip or whatever it is in the key and being able to make that connection with the vehicle. So we're gonna try and get a new battery for it, so we have to walk a little bit to go to Walgreens or something like that. But we'll see if that works. If not, we may have to figure out how to get over to a Ford dealer.
So here's the problem. Walgreens is right there, which we can see, but it's across a 4-lane highway with no crosswalk, so I don't think we're allowed to cross, and there's no sidewalks.
Okay. We did it. Basically, our hope is that this battery is going, because it feels like it kind of has been. It hasn't really had like a great radius or range for locking and unlocking. So we got new batteries, and we're hoping that's gonna help solve whatever the issue is. If not, then we'll have bigger problems. Okay.
We survived the mad dash across the busy 5-lane highway here outside of the visitor center.
So we
Risked our lives.
We ran across the street. We were successful with that. It took just like 10 minutes. So we're hoping this will fix the issue with the car. If not,
we have no idea what we're gonna do.
yeah, that'll be a much bigger problem to sort out. So we'll see, and hopefully this works. Fingers crossed.
Come on, please work.
All right. Well, yes, we're calling the Ford people. You can close that. So basically, we're probably gonna have to get towed to a Ford dealer, replace the key, and then be able to start again. I'm not sure what we did to deserve this betrayal from Appa, but hopefully it doesn't take too long to fix.
This is Kiana. Are you in a safe location?
Yes.
So we think it might be the battery now because every time we try to turn it on, none of the lights come up and we don't hear a clicking sound anymore. So we pulled out our NOCO Boost Plus and have it charging over here to hopefully get it to be able to jumpstart, because do you think we charged it before we left? No. So we have to wait a couple hours for that to charge. So in the meantime, we are hanging out at this picnic table. Please work.
To jumpstart a vehicle, just hook up the clamps to the battery.
Basically, it just gives you an automated jump start, so we are hopefully going to be able to at least get an answer, whether it's the battery or if we're going to have bigger problems.
Yeah, but we watched a YouTube video, so we're basically experts on it now.
So let's see how it works. All right. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. Good vibes. It's gonna work. Manifest it, Mike. It's gonna work. Okay. Okay. All right. Here goes nothing. All right. Ready? Oh my God! It so happy we have that little thing.
Turns out it was the battery. I don't know if something was running overnight or at some point we accidentally drained the battery, whatever, or if we need to get a new battery. Either way, we're driving to the nearest Ford dealership to get a new key, to get a new battery. My heart was like racing as we were doing it, because the alternative would have been either $300 to get like a tow truck and an Uber to the nearest city, which is like an hour away, or waiting until Monday, and today is Saturday, like at noon. So it would have been a day and a half of just chilling here in this visitor center parking lot.
Number one van accessory you need. Link below. So we are on our way to AutoZone because AutoZone will test batteries for free. So we're gonna go there and see if we need to replace it or if it was just kind of like a fluke thing. So we think that that's our best bet rather than driving all the way up to the Ford dealership to have them do it, because it's an hour away, because the closest one in Outer Banks is actually closed until Monday, which is 2 days from now. But we are very happy that we're in up right now and it's driving, and we fixed it to a certain extent.
So weird. Okay. As of right now, we don't really have any answers, but the car started up again after we turned it off.
We didn't really get good news, but we didn't get bad news. They said that our battery is fine and it starts fine and it has really nothing to do with that. He said that we don't need to replace it. He said that it might be something with our starter, because when he is attaching the machine to the battery, it's not picking up anything that it's reading, but it starts just fine. So he said that it should have been reading on his device. So hopefully it was just some random fluke, but I don't think that really happens. So hopefully we can make it through the rest of our trip. The good news is we are getting closer to home as we do work our way back up north. So worst case scenario, if we do break down or something like that, we're going to be getting closer and closer to New York and hopefully be able to get it fixed once we're home.
Yeah.
But until then, we're just going to do the whole ignorance is bliss thing and enjoy the rest of our time here in the Outer Banks. Let the road trip gods be on our side for this. Manifesting that nothing else will go wrong this whole trip.
Yes. It's about 2 o'clock now, so we still got some daylight left. I think we're gonna go over to the Wright Brothers Memorial before we head back to the Bodie Island lighthouse.
We got ourselves Frosties to make ourselves feel better, and now we're headed over to the Wright Memorial. Today's actually free to get into the park, so yeah. It looks like our luck is turning. But we did pay the $80 to get our pass for a future reference. But today was free to get into the park.
We figured because we've done this at least like 4 or 5 times now, and it's $30 or something like that every single time, we would just get the pass and not have to worry about it from here forward.
And if today has taught us anything, it is to be as prepared as possible. So hopefully the next time we won't have to even worry about this pass. But the good news is if you did want to come today, it would have been free anyways.
Don't need a rainbow for clover fields. We'll open the sky, make the clouds disappear. For every day that the world makes us feel like giving up, we'll make our own luck.
We just listened to like a half-hour presentation from the National Park Service Ranger.
They did very, very well. They were very entertaining and were able to give a lot of great information, and it just really lets it sink in how significant this place is for modern aviation in general.
I think we say it a lot, but we're always really impressed when we get a chance to stop and listen to the National Park Service guides and give their presentations. They're always really good, and I feel like they make the visit, the experience, the visit to the site a lot more meaningful. But now we're heading on our way up the hill. We don't have to carry a flyer, which I guess is what the Wright brothers would have been doing when they were experimenting out here. But it's a nice little walk. Everything's nice and open and pretty.
So we're walking up to the sand dune now, and we were learning that it looked a lot different back then. So all that we could see now would be just strictly sand, but they planted grass to preserve the hill itself. So this sand dune actually used to be back where we had listened to the presentation, and because sand dunes moved, they planted some grass to preserve the integrity of the monument, so that way it could be a tourist attraction and a way to remember and honor the Wright brothers.
Every day, our own adventure, you and me, one perfect picture, I'm all good.
So I made it to the top and on the shady side of this marker here, and you can see all around us is the water, so it's a pretty amazing view. When the Wright brothers were first flying up here, all of this would have been sand, and they specifically took this area so that way when they crashed, it wouldn't damage their plane as least as possible, or their glider, I should say. Way down there is where the hill used to be at the end of that path. You can also see the stone markers diagonally through there, which is where the first flight actually happened. Well, we're just leaving the spot where they actually recreated the kind of layout of the picture and documentation of the first flight. So that was pretty cool. They even had the original sand that would have been there for the recreation instead of the grass.
It pretty much just visualized everyone's positions. Orville on the plane, Wilbur running alongside to help stabilize the wing, John Daniels, who I think is the guy who took the photograph. So there was also all of the other members of like the life-saving station that were around there. And it gave a little bit of context as to who everyone was.
Now we are headed back to the van, which hopefully will start, and going to head over to the lighthouse because we didn't cancel our reservations this morning. I had hope that it would start and we would get there, so let's hope that it still starts and we can make it to the lighthouse to finally climb a lighthouse here in the Outer Banks.
Yep. So I think we've got about 200 steps between us and the top of that lighthouse when we get there. So I'm going to switch back into flip-flops to prove to Heather that I won't fall down the stairs when I do that. The car started right back up when we made the attempt, so feeling good about that. And we're going to be heading out from the Wright Brothers National Memorial and heading back south towards the Bodie Island lighthouse.
Take the long way home if it meant I'd go walking by your door. Together we could see.
So even though we made it here for our ticketed time, that building is now closed. It closed at 5 and it is like 4:59. So even though the building is closed, which I'm assuming is probably just a gift shop, we can walk this marsh boardwalk. So we're gonna go check that out because the ranger who was leaving that little building said that it's a pretty good view of the lighthouse from that side as well. If there's any spiders, we're leaving. Mike!
You make my world come alive.
Now we have to rush back because we have to go check in. So this is more our speed, a little bit late. And even when we're early, we still manage to make ourselves late. You can only go up one at a time.
219 steps, flip-flops. Here we go.
Shore, never seen a view like this before.
This is the original staircase, and this is an over 100-year-old lighthouse. So we're walking on the same steps that the lighthouse keepers would have used.
I keep feeling away about you. No, I can't look away, no, I can't look away, no, I can't look away, 'cause I need you. My heart keeps beating like an island drum, 'cause you're my only one. You make me feel so good.
Last one.
Feel so good.
Wow.
I know. Look at the sunset. You see, it's like perfect.
So good. Feel so good.
So we made it to the top and we actually got to go inside and see a little bit of the light bulb itself, or the mechanism, I guess, where the light bulb is. So it was pretty cool. You kind of go all the way to the top, but you could still get a really cool glimpse inside. And now we're just out here enjoying the sunset and the views atop here.
Guys, I have to start sending you down now. Okay. We'll see you at the bottom. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We did it. We finally made it to the top of a lighthouse in the Outer Banks. So I think this day started on a really low note, but it ended on a high note, literally.
Definitely.
As we made it to the top. So check that off over the bucket list. for our Outer Banks travels.
And also, I guess we should probably clarify, we've been saying, or at least I've been saying Bodie Island the entire time. I guess it's Bodie Island, so might be.